Hello YouTube. Let me tell you today about a very unusual place in Russia, and it's located in the area of the Mount Elbrus. Mount Elbrus is the highest and most prominent peak in Russia and Europe. It is situated in the western part of the Caucasus and is the highest peak of the Caucasus Mountains. The dormant volcano rises 5,642 meters. I believe it's 18,510 feet above sea level. It is the highest stratovolcano in Eurasia, as well as the 10th most prominent peak in the world. The mountain stands in southern Russia, in the Russian Republic of Kabardino-Balkaria. The nature of the Caucasus Mountains is generous with sights. Gigantic mountains, restless rivers, some say the purest waterfalls and mirrors of delightful lakes. All these charms tirelessly attract travelers, of course. Lakes of glacial origin are especially noteworthy, one of which is Jikaul-Genkios. So in Kabardino-Balkaria, in the area of Gila-Sula, the lake Birzhali, also known as Jikaul-Genkios, is one of the most amazing natural phenomena on Elbrus. This is a reservoir of glacial origin, and it is filled by melting snow and ice. It is located at the altitude of 3,380 meters, and even the most desperate divers call Birzhali the most dangerous reservoir in Russia. The other name I mentioned for this lake, Jikaul-Genkios, translates as the dead eye of the genie. The name is EERIE, but the object really resembles the mystical eye of an ancient wizard. This name is due to the fact that Birzhali was formed in the crater of an extinct volcano. From high altitude. It really resembles an eye, huge, 4 kilometers in diameter. Most of the time the lake is covered with ice. Probably that's why the epithet dead, like a dead man's eye covered with a white film. Sometimes even in June, ice hummocks can be seen on the surface of the lake. Jikaul-Genkios is a volcano crater on Elbrus. In any case, Birzhali is considered to be the first flooded funnel of a once active majestic mountain. The unique reservoir, Lake Birzhali, is the source of the Birzhali-Su River. This means that its waters plays an important role in the hydrological cycle of the region. But this is not the only thing that makes the lake special. On its territory, there is one large island and one small one. The Kalitsky Peak is also located here, one of the most famous and unique rocks that rises directly from the depths of the lake. In general, the peak has a height of 3,581 meters, but rises only 200 meters above the glacier level. It consists of volcanic rocks and pearl gray granite, which are not found anywhere else in the vicinity. On one side of the peak, you can see the remains of a snowfield, but the snow is covered with dust and looks dirty. The tourist attraction, Lake Birzhali, also attracts the tourists and locals with its mystery. Some believe that Kalitsky Peak is a relay for communication with aliens, visitors from outer space, from distant worlds inhabited by non-terrestrial intelligence. The presence of a site on the northern slope of the cliff, which has an obvious artificial origin, only fuels rumors about supernatural force fields in this area. There's no scientific explanation for the powerful bioenergetic field recorded at the top and in the vicinity of Kalitsky Peak yet. However, researchers continue to study this phenomenon and hope to uncover its secrets in the near future. I have yet to find out what active researchers are actually studying it, but there are local UFO researchers all over Russia. So I'll keep you informed when they find something. The local hills and plains are often called hell. Sulfur is a common element in the vicinity of the lake, so its smell comes from everywhere, in particular from the mottled moraine ridges and frozen lava flows. Sulfur vapors are another proof that Birjali is a stratovolcano crater. In addition, the water is very bitter, which is also an indirect sign of a funnel or fault. However, researchers continue to study this phenomenon and hope to uncover its secrets in the near future. So, we shall see what they uncover. In addition, the water of the lake has a very bitter taste, which also is a consequence of volcano origin. An expedition of Russian divers was being planned for the summer and autumn of this year to the lake. They wanted to explore the interior of the crater, simultaneously setting 2 world records at once. The first one would be a dive into the volcanic lake by a diver girl, this was a previously active volcano crater, so it's considered to be somewhat dangerous. The second is the highest altitude scuba diving for the research purposes. There have been interesting sightings of UFOs before the fall of the USSR. I am sure, because I've heard interesting legends of the Caucasus, especially Northern Caucasus, and UFOs. There have been sightings for millennia. But that sighting from the USSR was about an object, a long hovering UFO over Elbrus. There are many unsolved natural phenomena in the Caucasus area, just if you judge by my videos. There are many places in the Elbrus area where no human foot has ever, so to say, set foot. So, according to one of the bold hypotheses, there may be something like a parking lot of craft, of messengers of other civilizations. But let me add something. Citing a case from the KGB UFO files. So we go straight to the source who knew. First of all, so that you know, Beshtau is an isolated 5-domed igneous mountain volcano near Pyatigorsk in the northern Caucasus. On October 24, 1991, a batch of documents was presented to the president of the All-Union Ufological Association, former Soviet cosmonaut Pavel Popovich. The files consisted of 124 pages and contained copies of UFO reports sent to the KGB. Deputy Chairman of the Committee for State Security USSR, KGB, Sham, wrote an accompanying letter. The reports consists of handwritten reports, typed testimonies, notes from the KGB informers, crew drawings, and eyewitness reports. Of course, few Russian ufologists believed that the released documents comprised all of the KGB's UFO files. If you want more of the history of these documents, please see my playlist about the KGB and UFOs. So, the Beshtau Mountain case, December 15, 1987. An airplane on the Volgograd-Tbilisi flight over Nalchik reported that shortly after 11 p.m. the crew observed a flying object approaching straight ahead. The object resembled an airplane, its headlights turned off, but the radars could not discover any flying craft in the area. The UFO, no, the term was used by the KGB officer who compiled the report. He used UFO. That UFO had vanished. Some 5 minutes later, the UFO was observed from another airplane. The crew reported that there was a fiery trail behind it, emitting sparks. The UFO ceased to exist after a blast, similar to an explosion. 10 minutes later, a call came to the office of local airport to inform the chief that an airplane is flying and burning over the town. A fiery train follows the airplane. Then a blast, but no noise whatsoever, and the airplane disappeared. The person who alerted the chief of the local airport left to the site but could not find any debris or remnants. The KGB officer checked with the local military and found out that the area restricted for passenger airplane flight that night was through the Guriev-Astrakhan line only. An eyewitness who was questioned and signed his statements as Sergei Sergeyevich Karapetyan stated that the airplane was of gigantic size, much larger than any airplane. Rather, this object resembled a rocket, but it descended very slowly and went down somewhere at the Beshtau mountain area. Sergeant Major Varutin described to his superiors that the object he and another sergeant had observed that night resembled an airplane, flew at a low speed, and had powerful searchlight illuminating the area in front of it. The object moved noiselessly. There have been so many more UFO sightings over the Caucasus Mountains. In December of 2017, there was a very unusual sighting, something that resembled a jellyfish, maybe a cloud, but very, very interesting cloud. Maybe some sort of a craft. Apparently, there was another smaller object in the vicinity of this UFO. There was a video that was transmitted, I guess, or disseminated at that time. And people became very interested. I don't think we found out the nature of this object even until this day. So this is what I wanted to let you know about this strange lake and the North Caucasus area. And I'll continue my videos about this little-known geographical location for most people outside of Russia, and I think for most people in Russia as well. But generally, I have presented videos about Armenia, Georgia, about Chechnya battlefields, and sightings of UFOs that go back centuries in the Caucasus Mountains. If you like my research, I ask that you please support me through the links you will find in description to this video. Please tell others about my channel, and thank you for your attention to my work.